First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Just a quick article here caught my eye from naturalnews.com. It's a good site. As the economic collapse accelerates, home invasions for food start appearing in the press. Hungry people raiding homes inside NJ Chaos, New Jersey, I assume. It says, according to a heartbreaking report by All Self-Sustained, an elderly man was threatened with a knife last month by a man and a woman in a home invasion. The pair were looking to steal food. So they weren't looking for the keys to the Benz. They weren't looking for, the usual shit, which shows you that they weren't real criminals don't steal food, okay? Criminals steal, things that is gonna get them more monetary gain. When you're stealing food, that means you're hungry. You're stealing for the sake of eating. Whereas most criminals are not stealing to eat. They're stealing so they can get themselves a Bentley, or they want to be rich. When you're stealing food, you trying to sustain your soul. Alright, and that's a serious situation. It says 71-year-old Luis Rosales answered the door of his New Jersey apartment in the afternoon and was confronted by a man and a woman who were armed with an 8-inch kitchen knife. Okay, so they couldn't even afford a gun. The pair forced themselves inside, threatening Rosales with death if he made too much noise. The suspects used pepper spray to affect Rosales' vision before ransacking his apartment, raiding his fridge, telling Rosales that they were hungry. They also took his wallet. Okay. The sign of things to come. Well, yes it is. The report shows that a combination of the economy and lack of social civility has started to reach a level where US citizens are now robbing food from other people, as reported by All Self-Sustained. This might only be the beginning. The economy is on the verge of collapse. Unemployment continues to be a major problem and wage growth is stagnant. It is thought that 45 million Americans are now relying upon food stamps. That's your bread and circus. Because America is deteriorating and falling apart and collapsing, following the trend of Rome, only faster. Okay, their food stamps is only nothing but bread and circus. Giving the people just enough while they suck the blood out of America offshore. And civil uprising caused by the removal of government-issued food stamps is considered to be a huge threat to society as we know it. And it's not just the US economy that's suffering, the world economy is also in a complete crisis. Which the word crisis is from the Greek krisis, which means judgment. So ultimately it's a judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. According to the World Socialist website, more than 1 million people in the US may soon lose their government food stamp benefits if they fail to meet work requirements. In a government move that could stimulate the economy by encouraging employment while saving taxpayer money, there will soon be a 3-month limit on food stamp benefits for unemployed adults aged 18 to 49 who are not classified as disabled or raising minors. Critics, however, claim that move could increase crime and hunger. Yeah, because when people, ain't got no other way of satisfying their soul, they're gonna get out of character, so to speak. They're gonna, desperate times calls for desperate measures, man. This is something which has been witnessed throughout time. The recent home invasion by the suspect searching for food reinforces the idea that hunger and food insecurity are on the rise. According to statistics by Feeding America, as reported by the World Socialist website, 48.1 million Americans are currently living in a food insecure household. Food banks gave away £4 billion of food last year, and on the basis of the cut-offs being implemented soon, social service and food banks are preparing for a massive influx of hungry people. American conservative daily news reports that the US is on the verge of the greatest food crisis in history. Oh, they don't know the half of it. Explaining that certain types of foods are already becoming more difficult to find and that the price of certain foods, for example meat, has shot up. The cost of eating has increased at a time when the economy is in collapse, and this will mean an increased risk of riots and civil unrest, and as well as an increase in the number of hungry Americans. Alright? Now, you gotta understand that when the economy fully collapses and they declare martial law and World War III is declared, logistically, not only is a lot of people not going to be able to afford food, but the problem is also going to be the supply of the food. Okay? The food being readily available, because a lot of countries is relying on what? A global economy, man. The movement of food from China and so forth, from Russia, where Africa, Caribbean. These logistical lines get cut off during a war. Okay? So there's not going to be as much food for everyone, especially in America. And America is a big country, because let's just say there's food in Texas. If you're in New Jersey, that ain't going to help you. So we know that the government are going to confiscate the majority of the food out there. They've already got plans and FEMA executive orders set up to do that. But you got to understand that, first of all, in order for you to get access to that government food, you're going to have to take the chip. Secondly, they're going to have to deem you worthy to take the chip. Because there's a lot of places where the government, they're gonna pretty much seal that area off and leave the people there to die, to fend for themselves. Okay, it's like certain places in Chicago, you think the martial law troops are gonna go through there looking for people to bring back to a concentration camp to chip them? A lot of them places, they're just gonna put on a border perimeter, and you ain't gonna be able to leave. If you leave, it's gonna be a firefight, and people are gonna be within that zone killing each other for food and whatever the case may be. Okay, that and they show you that in the movie Resident Evil, when they had the whole thing in Raccoon City or whatever the case is, and the government, they allowed people to leave at first, but then they just shut the whole border down, and anyone that tried to leave was shot on sight. So the people had to fend for themselves within the realms of the city, man. Because it ain't the elite's plan for everyone on their side to be saved anyway. They're not looking to chip everyone and let everyone survive. There's a good portion of the population that they want to die by starve. They want to starve them out or kill them with a biological weapon, or have the martial law troops go through door to door and whack them. Okay? Some are going to be cut depending on the area and how much control they have over the area. It might be easy to pick out people and take them to a concentration camp and kill them. But like I said, some areas are going to be very difficult to control. So they'll just firebomb it, shut it off, and let your ass starve. And no food's going to get in and no food's going to go out, man. So there's going to be chaos. Different parts of the country are going to be experiencing different things, man. You know, where you at, you might not see a fucking soldier at all, but you locked in, man, with a bunch of animals. All right. But anyway, the point is that it's gonna get real. Okay, a lot of the killing that's gonna go on is gonna be over food. You know, right now people are worried about trainers and the latest Prada jacket or whatever the case may be. People gonna get real back down to the basic principles when that stomach start rumbling, man. When the reality of hunger kicks in. This is the book of 2 Esdras 15 and 14. It says, "For woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh." And that's the great killing spree that's gonna happen in the days of World War III. "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And that's talking about nations, but that's also talking about races too. Well, that's the same thing. It's talking about these different governmental structures. It's talking about race war. It's even talking about a gang war. Some of these gangs are going to still hold on to their and try to kill each other. So it's going to be crazy in different parts. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So not only are the armies of the world going to be invading each other, but then you're going to get a domestic situation where you're going to get domestic groups who are disenfranchised with the government and the power structure, and they're going to be invading one another. For what? For resources, for food. Okay? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning they ain't looking to go to the government for nothing. They're going to fight against the government. They're going to fight against each other. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning at some points, they're going to actually overwhelm the government. And they know that. They know that. That's why they have it strategically planned out. There's some areas they're not going to go in and try and get complete control. They're going to have people placed at strategic points to basically sequester the people in and let them kill each other. You know? And they tell you that in the King Alfred plan. They know that there's certain places that there's too many guns. It's, you know, too many hostiles. Just firebomb it. Put people on the perimeter, cordon it off, and let them kill each other. Let them starve to death. All right. It says here, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because they'll lock it down. They'll cordon it off and they'll take out bits, bit by bit, sector by sector. Okay. For because of their pride, and they show you that in the movie Division. That's what in that movie Division, they're trying to take back the city. A governmental structure is trying to take back the city bit by bit. And while they're doing that, the majority of the city is fending for themselves. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Because like all these cities in the world, the chief cities, the cities are basically the pride of the people. In England, the pride of England is London, Birmingham, Manchester. The cities, people are proud. Oh, this great city. You know, the pride of America is what? Washington D.C., New York. You know, Dallas, Los Angeles. Okay, which is a chief city in California. People are proud. People will go from a place of somewhat social economic comfort to go live in them cities in a damn box room with 5 other people and be proud just because they have that postcode or they have that address. Okay? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed. There's gonna be people burning other people's properties. There's gonna be bombs dropping due to the World War and the martial law, because the martial law troops are gonna have Hellfire missiles and missile strikes at their disposal too. Okay, they're gonna firebomb them ghettos, man. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real, man. It's gonna get real. See, right now, you niggas, you gang niggas, it really ain't real for you. You have warfare, but your mama still can go to the store and things are still kind of normalized. You just got your own little warfare going on. It's like a world within a world, but everything's gonna merge together and it's gonna get real. Okay, your mama's whole house is gonna get hit with a Hellfire missile, man. It's gonna get real. You like pouring out liquor? Well, you're gonna have to pour out a lot of liquor that day, because it's gonna be a lot of death going on. It's gonna get real. And then we're gonna find out how much of a soldier you really are, how much you really love the ghetto life, how much you love fighting, man. Because a lot of you niggas that are meant to be gang members and you about that life, a lot of you are gonna break down when this shit happens, man. You gonna pray for the day to have some peace. But there will be no peace. The Lord has removed peace. You're going to want to have a block party. There ain't going to be no block parties in that day. There ain't going to be no partying whatsoever. It's nothing but pure war. Not war, war. Okay? That's an inside joke. It says, the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Men shall be afraid. How much more say these women? Right? You know? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, because they're hungry and for great tribulation. Okay? So I just wanted to bring that out. So this is the future, and it's even going to be worse than just someone. In reality, they would have stabbed that dude up. They might have ate him. Hey, starvation makes people do some crazy things, man. And great tribulation. So this is a lot. What they're envisioning is not even a 1% of what's about to go down anyway. Especially in the cities. Okay? There's going to be a lot of desperate, hungry people, man. Desperate and hungry people, man. And your ass might be the only thing they got to eat. Think about that. Alright? So that's why you got to, if you're an Israelite, you have to have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and believe in his son. Because that's the only way you're going to be protected from these evils that are about to come down upon the earth. As it is written in the scriptures, they shall be hungry, but my servants shall eat. Okay? We ain't got nothing to worry about, man. The Lord is going to preserve our life, man. He's going to preserve us from defiling ourselves with man's flesh. But we have to stay firm and stay faithful. And believe unto the end. And the Lord will not forsake us, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.